right. Welcome, everybody, to another Monday Night Football NFL betting live stream hosted by myself, joined with me, as always, every Monday. Hopefully, we're making money.
We're making money. It's a Monday,
Yeah.
Monday money.
Making
Yeah.
money Mondays. Yeah. Joined with me, Bridget Case. Bridget, how are you?
I'm doing great. I think I had the worst betting weekend of my life.
Okay.
But I'm coming into tonight just feeling like I'm gonna make it all back. You
Well, yeah,
know?
that's how it happens.
Yeah.
There's a ebbs and flows.
Right.
Yeah, I was a combined 9 yards away from cashing one plus 450, another plus 1,000. Like one receiver missed by 4 yards, another one missed by 5, and that's just how it goes. You just have to take it on the chin and move on.
You really do. CD Lamb screwed me yesterday, and I originally had oh my god. I did not see that coming.
Yeah, he's been on fire. It was weird.
Against Carolina? Like, come on, yeah.
I know.
It was a trap. It was a trap game for me. So
mine was Hawkinson. If he just caught one of those last two passes, the final drive, oh my god.
I know.
And then,
you had his receiving yards?
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah, it was at like
55.
66. I kept watting it go, and I'm like,
I needed 60 plus. He had 55, and then I had DJ Moore.
I think his main line. Okay, you gotta get. Because I think his main line was like 66. Because I think everyone's got screwed by like 1 yard.
Yeah, no, it was or 50. I think it was 56 because he ended it with 55.
Oh, and what was I looking at? Oh, never mind. But yeah, maybe it's 56. Got it. Okay, and then what else?
And then DJ Moore, I had 100 plus at plus 450. He had 96. If they could just not fumble on the man, both situations, I was like, okay, they got one drive to get points. Didn't happen. It's all right. It happens.
You know who did come through for me though, and I will say everyone should keep an eye on, like, from here on out, is Jalen Warren. He came through for me in rushing yards big time, and then just freaking blasted off to space.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome. So, all right. Well, enough crying about yesterday. We move on. Choi Garcia, what's up? Appreciate you in the comments. Yeah, Eagles Chiefs, pretty decent Monday Night Football game. Finally, some good primetime games. Hopefully, it doesn't happen. What happened where we thought we had a good Thursday Night Football and everybody ended up getting injured. Hopefully, that doesn't happen in tonight's game. I do not want that for either team. Eagles Chiefs, obviously Super Bowl rematch. Obviously, I'm an Eagles fan. Very excited for this one. But I'll let you start. In terms of the main lines, spread, money line, total, what do you like in this one?
Well, yeah, I'm not an Eagles fan, but I was at the Super Bowl. And I was hard on the Eagles. And I will just tell you, it felt like, even though, yes, there were so many Chiefs fans, it felt like an Eagles party. Like, it really did. Like, everybody wanted the Eagles to win. Like, you just felt that emotionally, and especially after the first half. And then we all know what happened clearly in a second. I think that's the thing. Like, again, I'm not an Eagles fan, but I'm looking at this game a little bit too emotionally because part of me wants to say take Eagles money line. I know it's in Arrowhead, but I do like that it's at plus 124. There's so much obviously hype about this game. Taylor Swift will not be in the building.
I know, devastating.
Right? So I think her parents will be, though. So they're meeting
for the first time.
Yes, they are meeting for the first time.
Yeah, huge.
So yeah, so I don't know. I'm a little bit I'm not in love with the spread. I really want to take the over at 45.5. I feel like that could be a trap for me, though, just seeing as how these primetime games have gone. I'm just expecting it hopefully to be a track meet. So I think I'm probably a little bit still just emotionally biased here, where I want to see over 45.5. So I like that. Minus 114. That's what I like. If I go super emotional, I'd take Eagles money line.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I was on the over earlier this week, but what kind of makes me nervous is the weather. Like, the total hasn't moved. So just from a strictly sportsbooks perspective, they're not expecting the weather to impact the scoring at all. Because I think I got it at 45.5, which is what FanDuel has it. Most places have it at 46. So if you do like the 45.5 number, I would get it at FanDuel because you're getting a pretty good price.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just supposed to rain. And I'm in Denver, which is 8 hours west of Kansas City, but it is gross weather here too. So I don't know if it's
Denver. I mean, Denver's way worse, especially just with the altitude and everything. I feel like the ball travels so much differently in Denver compared to everywhere else in the league.
Yeah. In terms of the main line and stuff, I always worry in a situation like this where it's a Super Bowl rematch and the Eagles were up by 10 at halftime. Like, I feel like they're going to be so fired up. And that almost always works as a detriment.
Backfires.
Yeah, because I mean, this isn't the the best example, but I always think about the Cowboys and the 49ers when they played earlier this year, where it was like fired up, like they had the them in the playoffs 2 years in a row, and then they just laid an egg of epic proportion. Just got totally curb stomped.
You want to talk about even worse? How about the Jags and the Chargers in the playoffs last year, where the Chargers were up like 4 touchdowns, and then the second half, the Jags came back and won.
Yeah.
And the Chargers did nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. The Charger, I mean, they're a totally different animal. Brandon Staley yelling at the reporters because it's not, I mean,
oh my gosh.
That guy's got to go. That's a totally
we'll
separate
save that conversation for another time because I could go on forever.
I'm not even a Chargers fan, and I can't stand that guy.
I'm exhausted. We have too freaking good of a roster. We have too good of a quarterback to be this effed. Like,
and it's just a bunch of losing plays, like the drops. I do not envy you as a Chargers fan.
Yeah. It's been
just incredible fantasy. We don't talk about that Chargers Jags game. Yeah, that we don't talk about the Super Bowl, and we don't talk about that game either. Those are 2 rules that I will oblige. But anyways, back to what I was saying.
I don't know if I've ever told you this, Matt, but I had to re-watch because since I was there, and it was hard for me to see because I was so high up that
at the Super Bowl.
At Super Bowl. Yeah. I had to watch the end again because I couldn't see. I mean, I'm not complaining. I was in a suite, so I'm not complaining, but I couldn't see what happened. And so on the bus back, I'm like looking on my phone afterwards, like on Twitter and everything, trying to figure out what, oh my God. So
yeah, I was at the Super Bowl when the Eagles beat the Patriots, and we had pretty decent seats. We were at the 50-yard line, but nosebleeds 50-yard line. And I remember the Philly special. It was like I was watching a tennis match. Like my head was going back and forth. Right. I was like, what's happening here?
You have to go back and watch it. Like as much as going to a football game is so cool, I'm so much more engaged when I watch it on television because you really can see everything.
Because you get the replays and you get the announcers telling you, and then it's more just easy to check your phone and be like, okay, what's Twitter saying about this? So yeah, it's fun going to games, but the viewing experience for football is almost always better on your couch. Unfortunately.
Absolutely. And especially for betting, it's easier to track everything.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
But I don't know if you wanted to say anything else about more main lines because Just Incredible in the chat just brought up one of my favorite props for tonight.
Yeah. So. Let me just finish my thought. Yeah. So about the Eagles, I'm of 2 minds of it because Eagles are better than the Cowboys. They show up in important games more than the Cowboys do. The Cowboys can't beat anybody good. We all know that. But I just come back to the Andy Reid off a bye. It's like 28-2 in 32 games off a bye, and the Chiefs are at home, and they're both coming off of a bye, so it's not like there's any advantage there. Like the Eagles are also coming off a bye, and they're getting healthy. But I settled on Chiefs minus 2.5. I just think that relying on the Chiefs at home is generally a pretty good bet when the Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid era. So that's the only thing I wanted to say. That is my official play. That I put this out on YouTube. My mom wasn't happy with me because she's also a diehard Eagles fan. She was not happy with me.
I was going to say, I love the confidence there for you. When you're a true better when you can go against your own team.
I try to be as impartial as possible. Yeah. I do feel like sometimes as a fan, you just know a lot of the intricate stuff more than most people. So I do think you can have an edge, but on main lines, it's the books are too good at pricing main lines. I know, but
I saw that too, where Andy Reid is 21-3 off the bye, and 15-9 up against the spread. Sheesh.
It's crazy. Yeah, he's just. I mean, he was like that with the Eagles. He was there for 14 years. Like he won his first 13 games. Yeah, he's just insane. So, anyways, we can move on to player props. And thoughts on Jalen Hurts? Jalen Hurts over 8 rush attempts. You said you liked it.
Yeah, it's actually my favorite one because I usually love a brotherly shove. Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. I'm not telling anyone to take that today. I might take it myself, but I'm not willing to stake my own reputation on that today.
Sneak preview. I am telling people.
Okay. So you're making me feel better. So
that is one of my official plays.
Okay, awesome.
Anyways,
but yeah. So I think with Goddard out, he's been 3 for 5 usually this season, and I think Monday night he's been I just really believe in him, and especially in the red zone. I think that he had 15 rushing attempts in the Super Bowl. And so when he's
3 touchdowns,
and he ran 12 times against Minnesota, 10 times Tampa, 10 times Dallas, 9 times versus New England, which are all top 8. Which rank all top 8 in blitz rate. So I think he's only hit the under 8.5 twice. Yeah, twice this year. So I think he will probably hit about 9 or 10. It's going to be close. It's going to take a second. But yeah, I think that this is my favorite Jalen Hurts line for today's. Actually, I had it marked at over 8.5 rushing attempts. If you can get it at 8 and then you just push there, I mean, good for you. So
yeah, I looked it up. I looked it up as you were talking. It's 8.5 at most books. I don't see 8 anywhere, but if you can get 8, yeah, definitely that's great. You definitely want to do that. Even at 8.5, I still would take it. I was looking it up. I mean, you gave all the stats, but I was looking it up as you were talking. He's gone over 8.5 in 7 of 9 games this year, and one of the games he didn't was the Jets, and he had exactly 8. Even with people talking about how he hasn't been hurt or he hasn't been healthy, his knees been hurt. He's still been running.
Right.
In the push sneak counts as a rush attempt, so they do that for 3 first downs, and you're just lowering. Yeah, so I like it.
It's efficient to me. Taking the anytime touchdown with his rush attempts is just efficient, and that's the thing. He doesn't have to go far. I have really, over the last few months, I've really become a fan of rushing attempts and passing attempts, because especially with passing attempts, they don't have to complete. So I really do like this because he doesn't have to go far. And I'm just thinking a 4th down, a 4th and inches, wherever, that they believe in their quarterback, because this is the team that does the brotherly shove the best out of anybody.
Yeah, for sure. Jan Sorensen, sorry about Thursday Night Football. That was a bummer. What are you going to do? Kelsey and Hurts touchdowns, I like both. Kelsey, I haven't officially taken just because I think the odds kind of got nuked as the day went on. I think for minus money, I don't love taking anytime touchdowns for minus money just because it's so he's minus 120 at FanDuel, minus 115 if you want to look elsewhere. I think it's still a good play. I just don't personally have it.
Unless you're in a DFS pick'em, that's another story.
Sure, totally fine there. Regarding the Hurts rush attempts and the anytime touchdown, I like both. I think they're both good. From the touchdown perspective, it's the same logic as the rushing attempts. People are going to be like, oh, he's not running as much because he hurt his knee. Even if you assume that he's been the same level of health that he's had all year, he scored a touchdown in 6 of 9 games and 7 of his last 10, including the Super Bowl. He's only not scored in 3 games. It's even with a bulky knee, he can do the push sneak on the 1 yard line. And I do think he's going to run more in this game. I feel like his legs are kind of like a break in case of emergency thing.
Right. Where
in important games, break it out. In non-important games, just stay in the pocket and don't risk an injury.
Break the fire extinguisher out.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I love that. I was going to say, I had it up on my bet slip. I think last night, obviously it was higher, but it's at plus Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown plus 120. I mean, I'm definitely with you on that. I didn't want to, I was going through a mental battle with myself on that one, just because it's been one of my locks of the year. Every time I take it, it hits.
Yeah. I mean, 6 of 9 for plus money. I was shocked that it was plus money on this one.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's normally not, it's normally minus money. So I don't know if people are not, I don't know. I mean, Chiefs have a good defense. Maybe they don't get to the one and maybe they score outside of it, whatever. Another question that I wanted to get to, Mahomes, 2.5 passing touchdowns. I mean, the Eagles rush defense is terrible, and their their rush defense is really good. Their pass defense is terrible. So I said it the opposite. The thing is, the Chiefs offense, it just hasn't quite been the same. He's only had 3 passing touchdowns in 2 games against the Bears and against the Chargers.
This is not the same Patrick Mahomes that we're used to. I think he's obviously, I do appreciate, he won an MVP last year. He should be riding off of his credibility of having 2 rings and the success he's had at this young of an age. But this is not the Patrick Mahomes we're used to. He's playing okay. He's playing fine. He is the best coach in the league right now. And he's fine. It's comparatively to other quarterbacks. Yeah. But, to me, last year, he usually would hit all of my overs, and he's not come through for me at all this year.
Yeah, they've been winning off their defense, not their offense.
Right.
And I think they have the benefit of the doubt where you assume that they will get it together. And if you think that's going to start tonight after a bye week on Monday night against a Super Bowl rematch, I think that's a totally fair bet. So I mean, and it's pretty. I mean, the odds are pretty juicy. I was trying to look it up because I never even heard of that book, Leo Vegas.
Let's see.
I was trying to look where FanDuel had it. FanDuel,
okay, has it. So the regular line is obviously over 1.5, but that's at minus 215. So and let me
FanDuel has
see
it at plus
alternate.
200.
So
Yeah.
let's see. Okay, alternate.
It's 200, which is pretty good.
Oh, for 3, yes, yeah.
For 3 is plus 200, yeah.
Plus 200, yeah.
I mean, I think that's pretty good. You
Yeah.
run the risk of if they get close, they decide to run it.
Right.
But I mean, Mahomes. I mean, again, it's Mahomes and Andy Reid off of a bye in an important game. Even though they haven't looked the same, I think again they have the benefit of the doubt.
They always find a way to win, and that's the number one quarterback stat. Is wins.
Yeah.
So when you look at his stats and when I'll compare when I'm taking a Patrick Mahomes prop and I'm like, oh, I get so nervous because he's struggled in the last few games just to hit that. Doesn't matter when they're getting wins. Who cares? Obviously from a bettor's perspective, yeah, it sucks, but yeah, and I think you bring up a good point with Philly's defense, because usually I am always riding high on Isaiah Pacheco, but I am staying away from his rushing props today.
Yeah, I do like Mahomes rushing props because I think he's going to scramble a lot. He did a really good job scrambling in the Super Bowl. And someone asked about Richie Rice reception props. I have not looked into him specifically. The player that I like, and this is not the most profound thing in the world, is Travis Kelce. I mean, even though no Taylor Swift, not even talking about that, the Eagles defense is among the worst in the NFL at guarding the tight end. They've gotten lit up by a lot of tight ends. Ferguson lit them up. Logan Thomas had a good game against them. Even going back, Hawkinson had 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Both Hunter Henry and Mike Gesicki had good games. Tight end is just where the Eagles defense struggles. And maybe coming off of a bye, they'll have something more creative than what they've had. But it hasn't been the case yet. And I don't necessarily think that they earn the benefit of the doubt for that. So I laddered his receptions up to 10, and I laddered his receiving yards up to whatever the books will allow. I forget exactly how much, and just scaling down the unit size.
You're talking about what his highest alternate receiving yards was, or?
Yeah.
At least on FanDuel, the highest you could go is 150 plus 850.
That's what I did. I started at 80, and then I just slowly scaled it down. So once I got to 150 plus, it was a fraction of a unit, whatever, $5 essentially.
Yeah.
So it's a long shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think especially if it is bad weather, if the deep passing isn't there, that just helps the Kelce angle even more. Mm-hmm. And he really is just uncoverable. You could try and have a creative scheme. If there was one to stop Travis Kelce, it would have already come out by now.
Definitely. That's true.
So the 2 main ones I had was Hurts anytime touchdown and Kelce. Basically, receptions was the official one I gave out, but I laddered both. Okay. I know you had Hurts rushing attempts. Was there anything else that you liked?
Yeah, I definitely had a couple. Like I said, my notes got a little bit jumbled.
Yeah, all good.
I did actually like AJ Brown over on receptions. I think it was that last I looked, it was at minus 102. I mean, he's been solid. I think it might have been at 5.5 last night, or when I had last looked. So it has gone up, but I think just without Dallas Goedert and not a wonderful backup tight end, I still think that AJ Brown is still going to get a lot of the attention when Jalen Hurts does decide to pass. So that's just one fun one for me. But actually something that I did like, what's his face? Because that's the thing, I always forget his name. Oh, I liked Jack Stoll over 9.5 receiving yards. And I think not that the books are ignoring him, but here's the thing. He's not even available on some books, and he's not available on most DFS platforms right now. And that to me is kind of a sign okay, I'm going to go for this one because his receiving yard line is at 9.5. Obviously, yes, when Goddard is in, Jalen Hurts, is comfortable targeting him. But where did my thing go? I had let's see. I had his
I have the stats up.
So his last year when he got the start and Goddard was out, he had 41 receiving yards against the Titans. He was 3 for 3. and then 2 for 2 against the Giants with 20 receiving yards. So when Goddard has been out and he's getting action, he can like hit this easily. And that's like that just like needs to be one catch. So I like it. And I even like, there's a couple that like I think most people are staying away from or just not paying attention to. Jack Stoll over 9.5 receiving yards. And then I also like Julio Jones over 11.5 receiving yards. Again, his receptions is not even available at most places because it's like, half or like 1.5.
1.5, yeah.
And so that's also at minus 110. But I think without Goddard, like Julio Jones is like a big receiver. He's a big bodied guy that if, Jack Stoll's not getting the ball, then I think maybe it goes to Julio Jones. Yes, he's not the Julio Jones that we were used to 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But still, I think that this is going to be, I think like he's still like a top option, especially in the red zone. So so I like this. He only needs to really have one catch to hit over 11.5 receiving yards. And last I had him up. Let's see.
Looking for Julio.
Yeah, because my notes thing just.
He is currently 11.
So
yeah, 11.5.
He 3 yards against Miami, but against Dallas, a really good defense, he had 74 receiving yards.
Julio Jones?
Yeah.
Oh, last year.
No, this oh yeah.
I was gonna say he did not do that.
But I'm just last year. But I'm just saying, but yeah. So I think I was gonna say the defenses prior, obviously, we're not great, but yeah. So I like it. I think again, it just takes like one time to hit. So it's just I just am. Oh, Ken's getting rushing yards. I was actually kind of staying away from that today, but I don't know your thoughts on the
Gainwell. Yeah, so a lot of stuff to get to. The Jack Stoll thing, he plays basically every snap when Dallas Goedert's out. Like he has a 5-game sample size last year, and he played 50 of 61, 63 of 79, 50 of 67. Like he just plays a lot. He's more so blocking. But if it's one of those like run pass options where if everybody crashes on the running back, then he'll be out for just like a quick pass, so that makes sense. Last year, the only thing I'll say about with Dallas Goedert missing, the biggest benefactor was Devontae Smith. Like his stats skyrocketed in the games that Dallas Goedert was out. I ended up not going with him just because I've been all over Smith the past couple of weeks, and it's always just been AJ Brown.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to see it before I locked it in. So for Gainwell, I actually like Swift to have a good game tonight. The Chiefs defense is susceptible against the run, even as good as they've been, their run defense is below average, and the Eagles are getting their right guard back who they're like, it's not all because of him, but if you look at before and after stats when he was healthy, they're like literally almost half of the rushing yards in games that he missed. So getting him back is huge. Also, part of that has to do with Hurts. We don't know when he got hurt, but they started talking more about it right also around when their right guard got hurt. So it's probably a mixture of both. So I actually like Swift more so than Gainwell. But again, I didn't officially lock Swift in or anything, but I was looking at him in terms of like my own props I wanted to give out. I was looking at Swift. And then, so Pacheco receptions, I looked this up. He's more involved as a receiver than I was expecting. And especially, I'm not expecting the Chiefs to have a ton of success on the ground. So I think they'll probably need to throw more, which obviously leads it to Pacheco. And then, some other comments like Mahomes' longest rush. We talked about Mahomes rushing. I think I really like Mahomes rushing. I haven't looked specifically at the longest rush. I don't even know. I'm guessing that's not that high of a number. And it's one of those things where like if he scrambles, he generally scrambles when he has like 10 yards. So as long as it's around that number, I think that makes sense. Cool. All right. That's everything that I wanted to give out. I think is there no, that's everything I want to give out. Rushing yards for Mahomes, and then Jalen Hurts touchdown and Travis Kelce receptions. Is there anything else that you had that you have not mentioned yet, or you think it's time to build a same game parlay?
Okay. I'm so ready to build. I did want to mention one crazy play on FanDuel that's available if you just want to sprinkle a little something.
I love these plays. Go on.
It is a special. It is a game special. And oh crap, did they bump it? Oh, damn it. Wait, let's see. It was I'm gonna keep looking for this. It was Philly and both teams, each team to score 1 touchdown and 1 field goal in each half. And it's at plus 2,800. So
I mean, I'll do 25 on that.
Right?
Or, sorry, I'll do $10 on that. Yeah.
Like a little something. You do have to click on game specials if you're on FanDuel and then scroll down. I like this one because I do think it's going to be a decently high scoring game. And I think we're going to see, especially with like the Eagles defense being so good, I think that they're going to force, Harrison Butker to kick. So yeah, I like it. Like, I think we'll see, more field goals than we're used to because, it's going to be a battle of defenses too, along with it being high scoring. So yeah, I think a couple field goals will be forced on either side. So why not?
I like that. I mean, 1 touchdown and 1 field goal in each half is not a lot.
No, it seems doable.
Yeah. One of the game specials that I liked goes into my thoughts on Devontae Smith, but 25 plus receiving yards in each half.
See.
If he gets targeted more, which I'm expecting, it's plus 210 odds. I think that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a game special that I liked. All right. In terms of same game parlays, I liked, sorry, I thought my screen froze for a second. So Jalen Hurts touchdown, and then I had Kelsey receptions.
Right.
You had
Hurts over rushing attempts, 8.5 rushing attempts.
Yeah, you can't parlay that, unfortunately. So that one has that one has to be straight up. But we talked about Jack Stoll receiving yards, 9.5, and Julio Jones over 11.5. Do you want to do both, or do you want to choose one? I'll let you decide.
Maybe we choose one.
No pressure. Okay. All right. Which one do you like more, Stoll or Julio?
Stoll.
Okay. All right. So that's 3. I'm trying to think of. We did talk about.
I had AJ Brown over receptions.
Yes. Okay. AJ Brown over receptions, and we also liked Isaiah Pacheco receptions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 5 plays. If we put in all 5 of those,
what's that at?
So just to recap real quick, it's Hurts anytime touchdown, Kelsey over 7.5 receptions, Jack Stoll over 9.5 receiving yards, AJ Brown over 6.5 receptions, Isaiah Pacheco over 2.5 receptions. It's plus 2,700. 5-legger. Not bad. So that'll be our official parlay. So you weren't obviously on yesterday, but the parlay we came together was 4 yards away, TJ Hawkinson, or 5 yards away. So hopefully we can right yesterday's wrongs and we can get our parlay live stream to hit. That's all I have on this game. Obviously I'm rooting for the Eagles. Hopefully we also get a good game just because it's a primetime one. Anything else that you have that we haven't talked about yet?
Nope.
All right. Well, chat, appreciate it. It was a very active chat, which I like. Appreciate you. Just Incredible Fantasy, Jan Sorensen, Vital Gonzo Gore, Big Will. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Not going to do a Thursday live stream because it's Thanksgiving. Everybody should go enjoy time with their families. But Bridget, as always, appreciate you.
I'll be streaming.
Well, everyone go tune in. If you're not with your family or you want to ignore your family, go tune in on, I'll actually be in New Mexico. I'm not even going to be with my family.
Ooh,
I'm going
to
be, I'm just doing a weekend getaway or week getaway type thing.
Yeah.
Not even legal betting in New Mexico.
Oh my God. I forgot. This was one of my favorites. See, this is why my notes got so again, last minute for anybody. I actually do like Kadarius Toney over his receiving yards.
Kadarius Toney.
It's at 6.5. So he can't hold on to the ball. But
oh man,
if you want a fun leg to add,
there you go.
I can't take him seriously ever, but it's 6.5 receiving yards.
It's pretty low. Low. All right. Nice last minute play there. Well, again,
forgot about that.
Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Bridget, thank you for joining. We'll catch you next time.